Hey everyone, coming to you from the BCTV studios in Brattleboro, Vermont. Welcome. This is Town Matters, a podcast about current issues going on in Brattleboro town government. I'm John Potter, the new town manager in Brattleboro, and your host on Town Matters. Today we're going to be talking about what the Brattleboro Select Board has been working on in the month of May 2023. This podcast was put together to communicate in a different format, really in a different way about what is going on in town government in Brattleboro, Vermont. The town's longstanding practice has been to post information on the town website, brattleboro.org, about what is discussed at the bi-weekly select board meetings. Meeting agendas, reports, and backup materials will always be posted there, including prominently on the main webpage before each meeting. But we will be broadcasting Town Matters on the weeks in between select board meetings to reach more people in a new way. This show will be posted on the town website, and you can follow the town's social media pages to know when we put out new episodes. Give us feedback on this podcast at any time by emailing townmatters@brattleboro.org. So first, we're going to look back on the select board meeting of May 2nd. On May 2nd, the Select Board met and discussed 5 main business matters. The first was the Fire EMS Transition Project Plan. This is part of the parallel track research that the staff and the Select Board are looking into to understand what is the best approach to emergency services for our town. The board approved the staff's plan for this project to get from May to a Select Board decision in September. Second item, staff presented and described the history around the Juneteenth holiday and the town of Brattleboro's connections to that historic day. And the board approved a motion to recognize and add Juneteenth to the town's municipal holiday schedule and to develop a program for public celebration. The third item at the May 2nd meeting, the board did a first reading of proposed amendments to Chapter 19 of the Town Code, which is our cemetery ordinance. The changes would allow natural burials, including Islamic burials, for the first time in the town cemetery. The board then took up the issue of the Agricultural Loan Fund. This was a staff proposal prompted by a representative town meeting request to reconsider how the Agricultural Loan Fund is structured and administered. And the board approved those changes at this meeting. Finally, the Select Board made committee appointments to the Citizen Police Communications Committee, and congratulations to Carla Fogg and Johnny Lee Conroy, who were appointed to that role. We also wanted to thank the other applicants who we hope will consider serving in another capacity soon. So that was May 2nd. Now we'll look ahead to the meeting of May 16th. The agenda for that meeting has now pretty much been set and will be posted later this week. So a quick rundown of the May 16th agenda. There are 5 items on the board's consent agenda: an annual entertainment license for the Good Spot on Canal Street, a second-class liquor license for the Retreat Farm, approval of the local emergency response plan, which is an annual requirement of the state that allows us to be eligible for emergency relief funds. There's also a application request for staff to apply for funds from the Vermont Food Bank to continue operation of an equipment collection at the library. And finally, the monthly financial report. Next, the board will move into unfinished business and wrap up their consideration of the cemetery ordinance changes, hopefully, with a second reading and possible adoption of what was discussed at the May 2nd meeting. Then the Select Board will move into new business, and we will have a project informational meeting presented by Vermont Department of Transportation staff for a rehabilitation project at the I-91 bridges at Exit 1 and Canal Street. Next, we will get a monthly report from the fire chief and assistant fire chief on how emergency services are going during our transition. And then the board will take up the Fire EMS Transition Project, where they will look at engagement improvements around that project. They will review a draft request for information from potential third-party EMS contractors, and they will receive an initial analysis of potential revenues with a municipal EMS approach. And this is a great opportunity for public participation on the parallel tracks for considering the EMS services. Finally, the board will take up the emergency housing issue with a winding down of the state's emergency housing program later this month. Final section of this Town Matters broadcast are brief town updates and announcements. And I have just one announcement today, and that is on Saturday, May 13th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Brattleboro Fire Department is hosting an open house at the Central Fire Station located at 103 Elliott Street. The public, as well as those who are interested in learning more about a career in the fire service, are welcome to attend. So that's pretty much all we will cover today. Look for additional episodes in the weeks and months to come. And again, please give us feedback at townmatters@brattleboro.org to help us make this podcast better. I want to thank Select Board member Peter Case and Communications Coordinator Seth Thomas, as well as the staff at BCTV for helping us put together and launch this effort. Thanks for joining us today. Have a wonderful few weeks, Brattleboro, and talk with you again soon.